Hi chimps, welcome to another episode of Guitar Chimp Television. Today we don't have any guitars today actually. I got scammed on Reverb. Dun, dun, dun. No, I did get scammed on Reverb. I mean, I got my money back, but I did get scammed. I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. So I'm fishing on Reverb, just trying to find deals because, hey, sometimes that's where we buy guitars. And I see this one pickup, Gibson Les Paul 58 reissue, so one pickup R8. And it's looking pretty good. And it's like...
It's priced right.
It's priced super right. I think it like $1,800, $1,900. You guys are gonna see it on the screen thingy that I put it up there. But that guitar is worth, just pulling off the top of my head, I don't know, maybe $500 because it's a single pickup. The single pickup Historics, Customs, Music Zoo did a run of that stuff. They're worth more because they're harder to find and they're just fun. They're awesome. You've got a single pickup, probably a Burstbucker 3 or something like that in the bridge, 1 knot volume, 1 tone, a wraparound. I'm pretty sure it's a wraparound. I don't remember actually, but you can see it in
you'll see in the pictures.
Thing. Just awesome though. Single pickup. No, it has a bridge and a tailpiece. It's not a wraparound on this
gotcha.
one. I know that. Super awesome though. Just something about single pickup Les Paul's guitars. We've talked about this. Juniors, you know what I mean? Like,
there's something special about them for sure. And I think,
and you've played some of the single pickup Les Pauls.
Yeah.
Also, you know what? We've been talking this whole time, and does anybody know that I'm talking to Matt?
Yeah.
So I'm Jerry.
Yeah, and I'm Matt behind the camera.
That's Matt behind the camera, or Gerald. Okay, anyways, back to getting scammed. Yeah, getting scammed on Reverb. So yeah, I buy this guitar, and awesome, cool. I'm gonna get a good deal. We're gonna make a video on it, and then we're gonna sell it, and we're gonna make some cash.
Yeah.
Super cool. That's the way it works.
How you thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. But no. I get an email from the seller saying, hey, I know we did the deal on Reverb, but I can't do that. I need to refund you, and then I need you to PayPal me the money.
Red flag.
Oh, I see. You know, that's a little bit sketchy to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but when I buy something on Reverb and the guy's saying, let's do it somewhere else, I don't like that. It takes the protection away from Reverb. Yeah, absolutely, you're gonna get more protection from maybe PayPal, but it's just, it screams scam to me. And it's stuff like that they do all the time. And so of course, you know, I'm like, no, I can't do that. And so he just goes ahead and refunds me my money and doesn't want to do the deal. They're even on eBay for a while. I don't know if you ever saw these, Matt, where they would post them just like hundreds of them at a time, and they would do like Gibsons, and they would be for a stupid cheap price, and then right on the listing, and I'm gonna show it to you guys so you can see it, they would have it, it would just literally say like, email us at this email address. If you buy it on eBay, we won't sell it to you. You have to email us here, and that's the only way you can buy it from us. So, and then if you email them, they're trying to get you to do weird stuff like bank wire them, or just anything to where you and we wouldn't fall for this, but some people do, and it's a numbers game to them.
Yeah, I had it happen with I don't know if you remember, a while back with a Fender 70s Champ for $175 on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. And I messaged the guy and was like, hey, $175, like, I'll take it. Yeah. But he would only take payment through PayPal for friends and family. Yep. Where I don't think PayPal, I mean, I'm not sure on this, but I think if you do it through friends and family, it's harder to dispute a charge rather than...
Super hard.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you can do it through your own institution, like so your credit card or whatever, and then if you do that on a friends and family, a lot of people don't know this, but even with friends and family, if you do a credit card dispute, PayPal's like, we're out. But it's very, very hard because, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's sketchy, but you got to be aware of that stuff. And it seems like they do that because they know it works for some people. Because I think people are comfortable with PayPal, so they're like, yeah, sure,
for sure,
let's do it through PayPal because I'm protected.
And also on something like $175, I could see people just giving up.
Yeah,
like, you know what, man, I'm not going to waste hours of my life on hold with PayPal. Yeah, I've literally been on hold with PayPal for 4 hours one time in December.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, getting into a dispute with any of those companies is, you know, it's going to be a process. I
have a screenshot of the PayPal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive I have it. If not, I'm going to edit this out. But if I have it, here's a screenshot. You guys can see 4 hours on old PayPal. That's a whole different video. Not really going to do a video.
Yeah, but yeah, getting scammed, I mean, it's very, like, you're fortunate because you do deals, like, doing deals is a normal thing for you, where if it was somebody that was, you know, found that guitar they've been looking for, they may have done that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And
so the guy gives me my money back to the single pickup R8. The guy gives me my money back, and so you just know that's a scam. So I go and look into some of the other stuff that this guy sells, and then lo and behold, he's got an R7 that he sold for $1,500. Gosh, that's super, super cheap.
Yeah.
Super, super cheap.
We're talking studio prices.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah.
I'd skip rent to buy that guitar.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah. Every shop's got one.
Yeah. Hi, Dylan.
But yeah.
Howdy.
Back to the R8.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, we're talking about the gold top. The gold top.
So he had all these listings that were similar pricing.
And so what he's doing is he's trying to get people, he's getting people like roped in through Reverb, and then he's trying to get them to do transactions outside of Reverb in a way that will compromise you, so that if you open up a case, maybe you'll lose. Because he knows what he's doing from his end, and all he's trying to do is get you suckered in just enough.
Yeah, for sure.
So I contacted Reverb about this. I didn't call them because you can't call Reverb. So you log on and you do their chat line thing, their chat support. And so then I talked to their chat support and was like, hey, I just want to let you guys know that this is what's going on. It's a scam. You should absolutely look into it. And then Reverb was kind enough to be like, yeah, we'll check it out. That's what they do. There's not a lot they can do, but they can go back and they can kind of check it out. Maybe if he does it again and the buyer, you know, calls Reverb and is like, hey, I got scammed, maybe they'll take that into account, that, you know, I got a hold of them and that maybe it's a scam. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. So we contacted Reverb and they didn't really do anything for a while. The guy just relisted the item. And then, so then, you know, I'm going back, checking, it's still relisted. Is somebody gonna buy it? Eventually, there you go, somebody bought it. There's a screenshot of the other sale on it. And so hopefully, I don't know what happened to that person. I'm sure they didn't get a guitar.
Yeah, I think by that point, if you had already talked to Reverb, they probably had their eye on that.
Yes, I think they did, because the thing is I kept going back and checking and checking and checking, and then finally you see where the listing is suspended, which is telling me that, yeah, finally maybe Reverb tried to crack down, which they do try. I know that they try and monitor it. It's really hard for them to monitor everything. A few, maybe like a week, maybe 2 weeks before that, I'd actually bought a Gibson Les Paul. It's the Buckethead Signature, so it's not the studio Buckethead, but it's the it's the fancier Buckethead.
Right.
So I bought one of those for, I believe it was like $3,700, and immediately Reverb just refunded me my money.
Oh, wow.
After buying it. Which, I don't know, that guitar's probably 8 to 10 grand. 10 is probably asking for the moon on that guitar, but somewhere around 8 grand is about what that guitar's going for. So it's like too good to be true.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
for me, that's too good to be true. I don't see those type of deals that often.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting though. I'm glad that I got my money back, but maybe just if you're shopping on Reverb or anywhere, just keep in mind about some of that stuff. You know, if things seem like they're sketchy and they're too good to be true and you're having to talk yourself out of it, it's probably not good.
Yeah, I mean, good deals do come along. I mean,
and they absolutely do.
People find, like, when I saw that champ on Facebook, I thought maybe it's a family member. This person isn't around anymore. They have this. They're just trying to get rid of it. Those things definitely happen, but you need to be aware of how people are, how people are going about how to get money from you.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to go through some hoops, it's probably not
right.
real.
You shouldn't have to jump through too many hoops to pay somebody, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's a pretty good red flag there. And even, let's say you do, because I've bought stuff from Reverb that wasn't, so it's like I actually got the item, but it wasn't what they said it was. I bought a Mesa Boogie, what was alleged to be a Mesa Boogie Mark II C+. From somebody on Reverb, and it wasn't. I got too excited, I pulled the trigger on it, I didn't look into it enough. The serial numbers weren't even within the date range of Mark II C+. But the real difficulty of this is when you run into a case with Reverb, they don't really know what they're looking at. You can send Reverb pictures and you can say, hey, this is not a factory Mark II C+. They don't know.
They don't know how to tell the difference.
Right, so what they do is they rely on like Mesa Boogie to authenticate this for you. You can get Mesa Boogie to do this. It can be difficult though.
Yeah, I remember that took a month or two to get figured out.
My experience with that, so when I was sending it back and forth, sending pictures, they were saying, well, yeah, it's gosh, how do they word it? They said like, it's a Mark II C+. And I would respond with, okay, I agree that it looks like it's been modded to a Mark II C+, but did it leave the factory as a Mark II C+? Because that makes a big difference in value. They would not answer me. Finally, I asked them to say, yes, it's a Mark II C+, however, it did not leave the factory as a Mark II C+, it was modded by Mark B at a different date. As soon as I got that, Reverb was willing to just give me my money, let me do the return and eventually get me my money back. But sometimes it's difficult to get the manufacturers to do this because it's not really their job. And they don't really, especially in some of the older stuff, they don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like let's take Gibson for instance. I hate to say it, but it's not like everyone that works on the telephone at Gibson is a genius and knows
or an expert in the field.
Yeah, and knows all the errors of Gibson. So it can be difficult.
Yeah. But hopefully throwing these things, making these things public help people,
Yeah, I agree.
Because I've learned a lot just from, just from doing deals locally and,
Reverb's interesting with dealing with that type of stuff. I'm pretty used to dealing with PayPal and eBay because I've done this for so long. And one of the nice things I will say is it's easier to deal with eBay and PayPal. I know a lot of people are going to say you're crazy, but it's easier to deal with eBay and PayPal when you're dealing with scams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's straightforward. It's the same every time. Let's say you buy something that's fake, okay? All eBay and PayPal are going to want you to do is go to an authorized dealer. So like any guitar shop that sells a Gibson.
Oh, really?
You could bring it to them and you could say, hey, this looks wonky. And they'll be like, yeah, I agree. Can you just sign this little thing that says it is or send me an email?
Oh, wow.
eBay and PayPal, that's good enough for them.
Yeah.
They tend to heavily side with the buyer in that they make it easy for the buyer. It's not 100% the case with Reverb. Even with the transaction on the, not the Mesa Boogie, but I had actually recently, gosh, this is another one. I bought a Gibson Ripper bass off of Reverb, and they had sanded the serial number off of it. Here's a picture of it so that you guys can see. I had gone, again, I jumped the gun a little bit and didn't realize that the seller they literally omitted the picture of it. If I've got a picture of it, I'll show you what I'm talking about in the listing where you can see that they omitted where it was scratched off and they like glued this little tape thing on there, like a piece of paper with the serial number typed onto there. It clearly looks, you could tell that it's been scraped off, like it's been, I hate to say it, but maybe stolen at one point.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a red flag, though.
And you'll never know because there's no serial number on it now, so there's no way to identify it. But so the seller was unwilling to work with me, and so I contacted Reverb, and they, honestly, the person at Reverb was basically going, well, I don't understand what the problem is. There's a serial number on there, and they just didn't get it.
Yeah.
So even dealing with Reverb in that sense, it can be pretty difficult because on some of this older stuff, people just don't know. So what we ended up doing is we ended up sending pictures of it to Gibson, and finally Gibson was able to get back to us and say, hey, that doesn't look, you know, like the bass looks legit, but that serial number is not legit. Is that Gibson's job to do that for everyone? And does it, I mean, how, you know, I just kind of wonder if things slip through the cracks and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think with a company like Reverb, you're gonna draw a lot of that crowd. I mean, I remember eBay dealing with people selling images of things. Like I remember there was like an issue with like PlayStation 3 or something, and they were selling the image to people. Like people would go on, pay $300 and get a picture in the mail of what they bought. So
I got a pair of shoes one time. That's probably the most ridiculous thing that I've gotten is a pair of shoes. Yeah, that was an easy.
That's ridiculous.
Unfortunately, that was a few years ago, and Reverb sided with me really quickly. I opened up a case saying, hey, it was a pair of shoes. There must have been some funny business going on there, and they just sided with me.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy though, right? Like these pair of shoes are not a guitar.
Right.
But I think when it's like,
yeah,
you know, when it's this, you know, in that situation with the grabber, like I don't think Reverb, I don't think they're all experts in Gibson basses.
They're not, to be honest.
So, yeah.
And they're not even, I mean, from Reverb's side, it would be really hard to hire people. It's not like, yeah, you're right. You're not gonna, there's so many instruments that they deal with. I would relate it to Guitar Center hiring people.
Yeah.
It's just hard to find people that are really expert about stuff.
Yeah.
I would assume there's gotta be a chain of command though. Somebody's gotta know something, you know?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you would hope so.
Yeah, they're trying. I don't know. They're trying, man.
Yeah, I mean, in these cases, they did end up helping you out. So.
Yeah. I always end up getting, I mean, I do really well with this type of stuff. I always end up getting the right deal done. I mean, if I'm wronged, I always end up getting it worked out. I'm extremely persistent about it though. And that's part of it, is you really have to be persistent. You do have to be careful. There was one time years ago, I replaced so I bought a guitar and it had a crack on the top, and this was on eBay. And I replaced a pickup ring because the pickup ring had a crack also. And so I ended up this is the only case I've ever lost. I ended up losing that case because PayPal said, well, you modified the guitar. And my response is, well, it's a crack on the top. That's like a 3-inch crack going down the maple top.
Oh, wow.
There was a crack on the pickup ring too, so when I was going through, I just replaced the pickup ring. I didn't do the crack, and according to PayPal, because they don't know.
You modified it, yeah.
I modified it, even though...
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I've got, really, on getting scammed.
Yeah, so just be careful.
Yeah, be careful out there. Don't get scammed.
All right, do you have anything to add, Dylan?
Yeah, if you like this video and the subjects we discussed, make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and also hit our Reverb link if you want to really support us.
Who's Dylan?
I don't know. Yeah. We good?